Let's hear what some real people have to say about it.
Payday 3 Gold Edition.
I felt buttered up, not only by the trailers, but by the YouTubers and the press. And then rug pulled into realizing that I spent $90 on uninspired trash.
Hi, it's me, your favorite Payday 3 YouTuber that sounds like I was ordered from wish.gov. Payday 3 is not doing so hot right now, and that's because the players don't want to play it. Starbreeze even announced that they were looking for the fun, because if the game was fun, it would have players. Huh, that's weird, I've heard that before. And so today I am back with another video, another reason that makes Payday 3 not as fun as it should be, and therefore drives away the players. I don't think most people realize this, but the enemies of Payday 3 are the worst they have ever been in a Payday game. And I'm not talking about their HP or the damage they deal, I'm talking about the downgrades and downright stupid game design decisions that you paid for if you bought the game. How they behave and what they do is too often lacking thought and effort from the game designers, and this complacency leads to enemies that are not fun to fight. I often read and hear about how the game is too easy and not challenging enough, but who else is supposed to challenge you but the cops? The server issues maybe? I can see the lobby. Matchmaking error. I mean, think about it. What is the point of playing a PvE heisting game if the heists suck and the enemies suck? Not to mention, these two crucial elements have not received any love since day one. So what's the fucking point? Anyway, here's an entire video dedicated to just how terrible the enemies of Payday 3 really are.
Have some fun with me, Goo.
I'm about to die from a sniper.
Ah, snipers. They shoot.
They don't have the cowboy hat.
Oh, good angle, mister. The snipers of Payday 3 are a joke. I mean, look at this nonsense.
Sniper!
Alright people, here come the cops.
You can be the only target running in the open, in front of two snipers, and they will not shoot you. Actually, fuck running, I'm just gonna walk very slowly. Sorry, I couldn't contain myself, I was too bored. And why even bother shooting the snipers? You can just ignore them. They won't shoot you anyway for like 7 seconds.
Wow!
Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label center for years. Rap snitches, telling on their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label center for years.
There's rules to this.
Starbreeze. The snipers of Payday are not complicated. All they have to do is shoot the players. In the previous Payday games, if a heister carelessly runs out of cover, they get shot. If they get out of cover but fail to see the sniper, they get shot. If they're too slow to kill the sniper, they get shot. Ow! It's an enemy that should punish carelessness and poor situational awareness, but reward a quick and deadly aim. This is basic game design. How do you fuck that up?
Sniper! Sniper!
And so instead of being punished and rewarded by this guy's game mechanics, we get a new guy who does nothing for an entire 7 seconds. To the point where you can just walk in front of him and nothing bad will ever happen. Does this look normal to you? Look at that, I can eat 3 health packs in front of the sniper and he will do absolutely nothing about it.
Man!
Also, if you get too close to the snipers, they will switch to their pistol, and they will deal absolutely no damage whatsoever. So not only were they bad with a sniper rifle, but now they put it away to use a pistol. Do I even have to explain this one? Does this look like good game design to you?
Yeah,
Shooting me with pistols, what am I going to do? This makes the sniper even less efficient than he already was, and that's not good. It's not a good game mechanic, it needs to go. It does not happen on every map, but the fact that it happens at all is mind-boggling. Why is it even there to begin with? Congratulations to Starbreeze, you have redesigned the sniper to be the most inefficient killer imaginable. Well done.
But I'm not done yet.
Even when the snipers shoot you with their sniper rifle, there is still one thing that is missing from them, and it's audio cues. For example, when a sniper in Payday 2 breaks your armor, it plays a sound you instantly recognize. Even that one is lame because of the way fuck this sniper, man. Instantly, holy shit. Despite the gunshots, the music, the voice lines, you hear that sound and you know exactly what it means. Surely this brand new $90 game should have this very basic element of game design, right?
That's it?
Yep, that's it.
That's the best way to crack it open.
The sniper just broke my entire armor and this is the sound it makes.
Best way to crack it open.
Which is, by the way, just the generic sound that plays when anything breaks your armor.
Oh look. Hi. It's a sniper.
Did he hit you? He didn't hit me.
No.
I think he missed.
Hi.
He did not miss, in fact he hit me. But there was no sound effect, there was no sound cue to communicate this information.
Hey! Where's all my armor?
Which is pretty pathetic considering Payday the Heist and Payday 2 had those.
Wolf is down.
I should be the first to know that a sniper shot me. Unfortunately, this is Payday 3. And so this is what we get. Snipers that no longer punish you for running out because they need 7 seconds to shoot you, that switch to their pistol instead of sniping you with a sniper, and that do not come with proper sound design. You know, they remind me of the snipers of Overkill's The Walking Dead, another Starbreeze flop. They're equally terrible at sniping,
Sniper there. Sniper.
and they also switch to their pistol. Is this a coincidence? Do you think they, you know, zoop? Nah. I mean, fuck, was it so hard to make the sniper an enemy that you should care about? An enemy that is dangerous if you ignore him? It was working in the previous games. What happened? Anyway.
Next.
Now here's an enemy that does not need much to be much better. The taser.
You mean Zapper?
No. The taser of Payday 3 cannot tase no more. Reason number 1. Stop spawning him alone, holy fuck. The taser of Payday 3 always spawns alone. This makes no sense at all. He's a support unit, he's here to help the other cops take down the criminals. So where are the other cops? And so what happens when the taser is alone is that he's the only target. And because he's the only target, he gets shot quickly. And if he gets shot quickly, he doesn't have the time to tase the player. Do I really have to explain this? I don't know how the developers have come to the conclusion that they needed to spawn the taser alone, but that's just what they did. It's like if in Payday 2 the medic spawned alone. You know, the guy whose only ability is to support other units. It would not make much sense to not give him any units to support, right? Well, it's the same for the taser. When the taser is alone, he does not have a chance to tase somebody. But when he's surrounded by other SWATs, he has more time to charge up his ability. He has more time to not die and therefore tase the player. It makes no sense to spawn the taser alone because he dies alone before he can tase anybody. Alright, tase me. Reason number 2. Weapon swapping. The taser has to put away his rifle and pull out a taser. And so with this newly introduced weapon swap, the developers have newly introduced another delay before the taser can use his ability. Now he has to play the animation and charge up the taser, and if maybe the stars align, perhaps, perchance, he can tase you. And even if the stars align, reason number 3, the AI. Look, I realize that it's easier said than done to make a good AI. What I'm saying is, if you remove the useless complications that you introduced, such as spawning the taser alone and making him switch his weapon, then maybe the AI would not have to juggle between them. Payday is already jank as it is, you don't have to add on top of that bad game design. So please, get rid of the weapon switching, I don't know, give him an underbarrel attachment. Whatever, it's the future, who gives a fuck. And please stop making him spawn alone. And I assure you, the taser will be far more efficient and you will have 2 less issues to deal with. After all, he was working fine over a decade ago when he didn't have all those gimmicks. The taser just tased. He didn't have to take 5 hours to do so, because his AI didn't have to deal with any of this nonsense. He saw you, he charged up, he played the sound cue, and he tased you, simple as. This was all figured out on the Diesel engine in 32 bits in 2011. Like I said in the beginning, the Zapper does not need much to be much better. His main ability still works, after all it's the same from last decade. All he has to do is use it.
Oh wait,
Just go downstairs, I'm dying.
Oh fuck!
It's just that specifically for Payday 3, it is surrounded by newly introduced dogshit game design. If Starbreeze were to remove these gimmicks, I'm sure the Zapper could perform like a real taser and not like a completely useless moron.
Completely useless.
Did you notice anything weird with the Cloakers lately? Huh. The Cloaker may just be the most butchered Payday enemy returning to Payday 3. Say goodbye to the sneaky infiltrator that hides in places and tries to ambush you and tries to strike you by surprise, and say hello to Pearl Harbor 1941. What the f- You see, in this game, the Cloaker no longer needs line of sight to charge a player, but they also no longer hide or sneak around. So what do? Well, they spawn, they charge, and they die. They endlessly rush to their death over and over again. They don't have a choice. That's the only game mechanic they have left. Now seriously, that's all they have left. Running and destroying deployables, sometimes, maybe. Everything else is fucking gone. For example, the jump attack. You know, this. It could have been useful for the Cloaker to have a jump attack when a running attack doesn't reach the player.
Miyu hasn't thought about this.
You can also throw out the window everything that made the Cloaker a ninja cop. For example, using smoke grenades to make himself harder to see, harder to hit. And what about those sick dodge moves, right? And as I said in the beginning, they no longer hide, they no longer try to ambush you, they no longer try to sneak on you by surprise. They also removed what made him a cop, his gun. Because the Cloaker is constantly running after somebody, and because he has to put his gun away to begin running, he's basically never seen holding it, let alone shooting it. Meanwhile, in Payday the Heist, a game from 2011, the Cloakers use SMGs to shoot at the criminals, and that does not stop them from kicking my ass. In the same lifetime, they can use their gun and their feet. So why? Why did the Cloakers of Payday 3 need so many downgrades? Is it maybe to accommodate for a sick new AI? One that is defeated by, I don't know, tables? If a Cloaker begins charging you, and you go and stand on top of something, in theory he should stop charging you and start blasting you with a gun. But he doesn't. And so it leads to this kind of nonsense.
Oh, she can get up to! She can get up to! Oh shit!
Yeah. It looks like he wasn't programmed to check whether or not he should actually charge a target, whether or not he can actually reach a target that he's charging. This is sloppy, man. Much like in Payday 2, the Cloaker of Payday 3 is not allowed to down a player that is currently being tased. But because he doesn't check for anything, I guess he's going to Jojo walk into me until I die. I mean, seriously, he's still charging me even though I am downed. I'm already dead, dude, fuck off. It's not a bug, it's a feature. A feature Starbreeze did not bother to implement to prevent this kind of stuff.
Miyu hasn't thought about this.
That would explain why this Cloaker decided to charge me even though there was a fence between us. Or maybe they do have checks, I don't know, because I have this beautiful clip where the Cloaker just stands still, gives up on life, and hits me with
There is nothing I can do.
And when he's not running after somebody, his AI completely shits itself. Where are you going, man? I am sure there is a logic behind it. I cannot make sense of it though. Like, what is bro doing? Oh, also, just one more thing. Starbreeze, where's the hole?
Goes right there. See, I drew it with a magic marker.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You don't have the technology to put holes in your level? Wow.
The quality is absolutely astonishing.
Look at that, you can put things on it.
Next generation shit.
This is next gen.
Cloakers have had a really big update. He now has 2
game mechanics because we nuked the fuck out of everything else. All they had to do was improve his reaction time a little bit, not downgrade the fuck out of him. Because of this
really big update,
they no longer behave like SWAT units with special abilities. They behave like zombies, and I don't think that was the intended effect. They are defeated by standing on tables like the zombies of Overkill's The Walking Dead, and because they no longer behave like SWAT units, they can no longer strike you by surprise. They can no longer punish you for not checking your corners. They cannot blend into the crowd, and suddenly, when you least expect it, it was fun and unexpected. It was requiring you to be aware of your surroundings. It was good gameplay. Why did it have to go?
Y'all got fun, we got abysmal dog shit.
Abysmal dog shit. And so instead we have this moron who comes out of the same squares again and again and runs in a beeline into the player again and again. There's no surprise, there's no unexpectedness to a guy who only does the exact same thing over and over again. The Cloaker is predictable, his gameplay is sterile, and every encounter with him will always play the same. It's not fun. It doesn't take a genius to understand that, and yet...
You hasn't thought about this.
Should Starbreeze rework the Cloaker to have more than 1.5 game mechanics, and less of a sloppy AI, I think they could generally make him less stupid and more interesting. Less of a useless quicktime event, and more of a special unit with cool tricks. I think that would be an improvement, and that's the whole point of Operation Medic Bag, right? Improving the game, right? So the Cloaker should be on that list. Hi, quick note from the editing dungeon, apparently Operation Medic Bag is over. What do you mean it's over? Nothing has been fixed yet, nothing fucking works. Anyway, most of the objectives in Payday encourage the players to camp and defend them. This makes them much harder to kill for the cops. But what if the cops had a special enemy that could dislodge them from their fortified position?
You has thought about this.
And so the Nader was born. He throws gas grenades that inflict direct damage to your health if you stay in the glass. Yes, that is exactly what I meant. And so if you don't want to die from the gas, you have to leave the area. There's just one tiny problem though. Who the fuck is he gassing? There is no one there. What are you smoking? What the? 50% of the time I see him, he's doing fucking nothing, and the other 50% he's using his grenade completely stupidly. For example, the Nader will target players that are running, instead of waiting for them to stop running, which means, you know, I can just run away from the gas, but what is the point? Sometimes they will throw it at point blank, which is completely useless, because it takes an entire second to throw it by hand, and also you can walk away from the gas. And sometimes he just gasses nothing. What the fuck are you smoking? The Nader is so bad at his job that this is the only clip that I have where I actually get naded.
I got cloaked.
Yeah, and I'm being gassed, so I'm gonna die because, yeah, there you go. This is the first time I think a Nader actually nades me. The good news is, I know what the problem is and I know how to solve it. Problem. Starbreeze did not give any other ability to the Nader than just a long-range throw. And so he's capable of throwing the grenade pretty far and above obstacles, like above this truck, which is pretty cool. But at close range, this is completely useless. The 1-second animation leaves him completely vulnerable, and the throw makes the grenade take a crazy arc that it does not need, just for it to land at his feet. Because of that, there is a huge delay between the Nader attacking the player and the gas actually deploying. Delay during which the player can just walk away laughing. Solution? Give him a gun. Make him shoot his grenade. Make him point a gun at somebody and shoot the grenade. And if you don't give him a gun, at least give him a more suitable attack for when he is close to the player. Preferably one that doesn't take so long to work that the players can just crip walk away from it. Either way, an enemy is only as good as the game design you provide him. So if you don't give this guy a proper way to perform well at short ranges, he won't perform well at short ranges. You're facing the wrong way, fuck off.
Okay, but how does that fix the Nader not trying to nade players?
It is true, he has a tendency to forget that he's a special enemy. Sometimes he will not gas the players for extended periods of time, which is kinda hard to show in a video because it's literally 40 to 50 seconds of nothing. I stand still for nearly a minute and the Nader does nothing about it. And it's not even a rare occurrence, all I have to do is boot the game and observe the Nader. Hey, remember what I said about the Nader being able to dislodge the players and, you know, being an annoyance to campers?
Pure fiction. We made it up. It's a made-up tale.
He doesn't do anything special. He shows up and he uses one grenade, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, but most of the time they don't.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
If the intern on Starbreeze clicks on the throw grenade button, I don't know.
Oh man.
Right. What about the Naders nading nothing?
Look, listen, I'm here to try and provide criticism, not miracles. And right now this guy needs divine intervention. I don't know how the developers could potentially salvage this one. What I do know is that instead of being a new enemy that provides a new challenge to Payday, the Nader is an incompetent moron. What is he smoking? Who's going to fall for this? The bot, of course. What about the shield? For Payday 3, the Bulldozer received two new game mechanics. A big kick, which is dangerous if you go and hug the Bulldozer, but is also easy to avoid and locks the Bulldozer in place. And a shoulder charge that he doesn't use. Go on, charge me. Go on, come to mama. He's not gonna charge. Oh, you did it! Congratulations, Timothy. You didn't hit anyone though. It's nice and all to make this enemy more dangerous by giving him new abilities, but if the developers don't make sure that those abilities are used properly, then it's just not gonna work. You can give him all the abilities in the world, but if he doesn't use them, what's the point? And when he does use them, sometimes it only handicaps him. Like, yeah, good job, you kicked the air. But sometimes he's also capable of using them correctly. This was a good charge, it could have hurt real bad if it hit me, I just happened to have dodged it at the last moment. The Bulldozer is not completely incompetent. He has the keys, he has the game mechanics to be a good enemy that is generally dangerous. But Starbreeze has yet to release a single update that brings him any kind of adjustment, any kind of small tweak, to make him more like a Bulldozer, less like a passive moron who stands still and stares you down and then he dies. This is a Bulldozer! This is a Bulldozer! Anyone who says that Payday 3 is more like Payday the Heist, you're smoking crack. Get the fuck out. A good Bulldozer should be terrifying. It's coming.
We need to go, get the fuck out. We need to go.
Not terrified. The Bulldozer's running away, dude. Why is he a coward? What the hell did you do? Like he's coming into the house and then he backs away and he goes for a walk? You know, he's supposed to be some kind of unstoppable force that's... Yeah, exactly, he's supposed to be bulldozing all over the place. Not running away. I should be the one running away from him. Where are you going? But if he does not sprint, if he does not make use of his shoulder charge, and if his AI is just worse than the one from last decade, then yeah, he's not going to be fun, he's not going to be challenging. Of course the game is easy, because the most dangerous and powerful enemy in the game sucks shit. And just in case Payday wasn't easy enough, now you have access to Baby Mode, which allows you to kill bulldozers in 2 shots. Forget about managing your ammo, dedicating your primary or your secondary to killing bulldozers, and say hello to complete bullshit. You kill the bulldozer with your Baby Mode, which kills the bulldozer in 2 shots. And then you have enough ammo to kill 17 more bulldozers, even though they only spawn once every 15 minutes. And you keep receiving more Baby Mode weapons. There is no limit, there is no cap. And it's actually kinda easy too. I mean, you just have to play the game. How hard could it be? You do not have to commit to the weapon, you can just drop it whenever you want and go back to your regular weapons, and then you have a nice pile of baby mode weapons that you can just pick up anytime. What a masterclass in game design. This will definitely make me respect the Bulldozer. Or you can just use a DLC pistol. Oh, also the Bulldozer will enjoy default dancing in the middle of a firefight. Hey Starbreeze, what's the point of the taunts? Because it doesn't heal him, it doesn't buff his damage, it doesn't make him invincible. What is the point of the taunts, other than just making him easier to kill? He doesn't even wait to have killed a heister to taunt, he just does it in the middle of a firefight. This is moronic. As for the shield, well, this may surprise you, but I actually believe that the shield of Payday 3 is much better than the shield of Payday 2. In Payday 2, he's just a guy who hides behind a plank, he doesn't really do anything interesting. He just spawns and he encourages players to use weapons of mass destruction to deal with him faster. In that game, he is a special enemy without a special ability and he doesn't make use of his shield. He is practically defenseless as he is unable to punish the players who get too close. In other words, he sucks. And so for Payday 3, the fine people of Starbreeze actually turned him into a shield unit. In Payday 3, he is no longer defenseless. He is now capable of shield bashing a player that gets too close. This will leave the player stunned and their ability to aim will be sabotaged. Also, he is no longer a selfish SWAT. Now the other SWATs are programmed to take cover behind him. I just wish the developers would provide updates to try and adjust this, because a lot of the time, the cops will go in front of the shield, completely defeating the point of the game mechanic. But hey, at least it exists. If only every other special enemy could have been an upgrade just like the shield is, Payday 3 would be so much better. Payday 3 would actually be challenging, and not just because of high damage values, but because the enemies would actually do something. Oh, and how could I forget the glass viewport that you can break with any weapon?
That was a great idea, Rocky City!
I am not sure what to feel about the glass port, because on one hand, any weapon can break it, which means players are no longer encouraged to bring some kind of explosive or anti-material or fire magic weapon. In Payday 3, it's okay to not bring a weapon of mass destruction just to kill the shields. You won't be at a disadvantage compared to another player who does. On the other hand, these weapons are not in Payday 3. So this new game mechanic is combating an issue that isn't in the game. I don't think Payday needed every single weapon to be able to pierce a shield, but here we are. Now you just shoot him in the face like any other enemy. You don't have to go behind him, you don't have to bring a specific type of weapon. I was happy to see that it was no longer a useless picket fence like in Payday 2. I just don't understand the logic or the game design philosophy behind this. What is the point of carrying a shield if it doesn't stop most bullets? And what is the point of having a shield enemy if you kill him just like every other enemy, which is by shooting him in the face? I don't get it. Yeah, he can punch you, but so could the cops in Payday 2. Ow. Yeah, he has a shield, but it doesn't stop bullets anymore. Unless you don't know how to aim for the head, which is kind of awkward in a Payday game, but I'm not judging. Was it worth the effort to make the SWATs hide behind the shield, if the shield can't even hide behind the shield? Was it not enough to be able to shoot him in the back, or in the face with specific weapons? Did we have to make him vulnerable to absolutely everything at absolutely every angle? Why? But hey, at least I am thankful for the good changes that we did get. Making the shield unit use his shield, thank you Starbreeze, that's great. We could do without the downgrades though. And now, here's an enemy I don't understand. Thankfully, Meodrag wrote a dev blog about her. The Techie is a support enemy that spawns drones around the map as long as she's active.
Why are there drones?
To make gamers look up? Meodrag, if you want me to look up, put some verticality in your game and have some kind of enemy that if I don't look up at him, he kills me. Oh wait, never mind, you ruined him too. According to this official dev blog, the drones are inspired by real-life law enforcement drones. Okay? How? When you tell me that the drones are inspired by real-life law enforcement, I think of this.
Yes. Do a damage confirmed, might be more. Hey!
But in reality, you get this, a floating enemy that comes out of random places without rhyme or reason. It floats around without trying to flank or surprise the criminals. It doesn't care if it's doing anything useful or if it's helping other SWAT units. They just don't have any strategy, they don't have any tactics. They have no synergy with the other units and they do not have a role to play during the assault. The drones just stay there, they don't try to outmaneuver you, they don't try to dodge your shots to make themselves, you know, harder to kill. Why create a flying enemy if it doesn't make use of its mobility?
We are inspired by real-life drones.
No, you were inspired by the normal SWAT. An enemy that stands still and shoots. That's what the drone is. Yeah, the drone may fly, but it doesn't make use of its mobility. As far as I'm concerned, they're just a reskin of the default SWAT. It's a really lame implementation of an otherwise pretty cool idea. And I think at some point, Starbreeze found out that the players would not enjoy shooting drones because
they added the free scrambler skill line. It's useless, it doesn't do anything.
Target acquired. Prometheus was punished by the gods for giving the gift of knowledge to man. He was cast into the bow.
Yeah, for the low cost of 1 skill point, you can hack the drones and you can completely disable them and they are completely useless. So not only they were not very interesting in the first place, but now they're completely defeated by holding E. Killing the Techie herself is not difficult either because she's supposed to be a hiding enemy, but she's not very good at hiding. I understand that Starbreeze did not want to make her impossible to find, but this is just, you know, ridiculous. She's hiding in the middle of the road. Or right here, next to the escape van. Which, by the way, would have been a perfect Cloaker spot, but I guess Cloakers no longer hide. I wonder why. Oh yeah, this one is beautiful too. It's on a triple crossing on syntax error. Wow, what a good hiding spot. Anyway, this is not just complaining for the sake of complaining. It's just that, you know, the Techie hides, and that's all she can do. She cannot deploy drones to defend herself, she doesn't have traps, she has nothing. And so the end result is nothing like it is described in the dev blog. The gameplay she provides to the game is nothing to write home about. The drones don't do anything interesting, and the Techie just hides and dies. What the hell is the point of this enemy? This is not a rhetorical question, I am genuinely confused about the point of the Techie. Miodrag seems to claim that it's satisfying to kill her or whatever. How is it satisfying? What is the challenge? She's a hiding enemy that sucks at hiding and her tactical drones are not used tactically. Where's the satisfaction in that? No, sorry Miodrag, I do not see how satisfying the Techie is. Because she's not satisfying at all. Hello. So yeah, that's it for the special enemies.
Yeah, that's cool, little bro, but you forgot another special enemy actually.
I did?
And it's a car.
What do you mean the next enemy is a fucking car? In Payday 2 we have Captain Winters. He's some dude with a gun and he's surrounded by other dudes with guns. He triggers an infinite assault and he buffs the cops in the level. For Payday 3, Starbreeze decided we're gonna do better than Captain Winters. We're going to turn him into a car with nobody defending him and we're gonna put him on the streets where I never find any fucking cops. And here's what the gameplay of that enemy looks like.
Woman died! Oh, we have to...
Oh, the antenna. It's done. It's finished.
Oh, that's it?
What the fuck do you want it to do? It's a car! It doesn't have a gun to defend itself. It doesn't have FBI unit to defend itself. Paw Patrol will be there on the double. It has nothing. It's a car! How did these developers like sit around a table and like, yep, this enemy's gonna be a defenseless car. Where's Captain Pussy? There he is. Look, listen, I don't like Captain Winters, okay? But I genuinely don't understand what the developers have tried to achieve with the FBI van. Because it does fucking nothing. There she is. The FBI is here. You guys wanna take out the antenna?
No.
Huh, that's weird. All of the special enemies in Payday 3 suck. But how? The Payday 3 YouTubers with better microphones never talked about this.
I'm sure that was by accident.
This must be a coincidence.
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
But it's okay, because I'm sure the normal enemies of Payday 3 are better than the normal enemies of Payday 2 in every possible way. So here's a list of their downgrades. They no longer use smoke grenades, which were good for making them harder to see, harder to hit, and it's kinda weird because we have so much technology about marking enemies, but we don't have a reason to mark them. Like, yeah, good job, penis, I can see the guy, there's no smoke covering him, why do I need to mark him? Even in Red World War II, the good guys had smokes. What a bizarre game design decision. Also, they can only use flashbangs when they're standing next to doors. And they're bad at it.
Cops behave much more intelligently in Payday 3 than in previous titles.
They also lost their ability to punch the player. It was removed because... this was introduced to Payday 2 to prevent the players from just running past the cops. In Payday 3, you can just run past the cops. Because why be good and keep the good game design ideas from the previous games when you can be Payday 3 and run past the cops? So, you guys wanna punch me? Anybody wanna punch me? The cops of Payday 3 do not punch you. But can they shoot you? Of course they can. Or can they? Enemies shooting you in a shooter game, I think that's a pretty important game mechanic. But how could they possibly shoot me if they suck at targeting me? Hello?
The shield's taken care of!
Anybody home?
They got one of us!
Even when they do turn around to look at me, there is a delay between them looking at me and them shooting at me. I just killed 5 cops and none of them shot back at me. This segment is dedicated to anybody who told me the cops of Payday 2 are brain dead, the cops of Payday 3 are better. Is this the AI that required servers because it was too difficult to run on a normal computer? And when the enemies are not even capable of engaging the players, you can have the best game design possible. It will not matter, because the enemies will not use it.
But the cops of Payday 2 were bad too!
So let me get this straight. When I'm playing with this guy who's hosting from another continent, from his Steam Deck, on his Wi-Fi, the cops shoot me with an acceptable delay, but when I play Payday 3 on a dedicated server that is in my country, I cannot get shot consistently by the cops? Huh? And before I wrap this all up, there is one more thing that I wish to talk about that I already mentioned in the previous video.
Where is everyone?
Payday 3 does not try very hard to give the players the illusion that the cops are trying to catch them.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
Yeah? Why? It's not like there's anybody to outrun anyway. Payday the Heist and Payday 2 did, with police blockades and ambushes. It wasn't always perfect, but at least there was a pretty solid attempt. But if there's no attempt at trying to give me this illusion that I am a criminal running away from the cops, what's the point of even playing the video game in the first place? There's other games that do it better. I know scripted spawns are more of a level design thing, but using them to simulate cops trying to ambush the robbers adds to the action, adds to the fun of the game. Being welcomed with hot flying lead when you walk out of the building in a Payday game is fun, it adds to the experience, it adds to the heisting fantasy. Unfortunately, this is Payday 3, so I guess the entire police force is stupid.
I want no one outside. You put everybody inside that fucking building and you kill those robbers, you hear me?
Boss, look, they're walking outside. Ah shit. It's even more insulting when it's the heist itself that makes you go outside. I run out because the game makes me and no one's trying to catch me. No thoughts, no attempt, no effort. 300 dead cops per heist and we can't find 6 of them to hide behind a car. I wonder what movie actually inspired Payday 3. I Am Legend, maybe? That's it? That's the
high-octane co-op FPS experience without equal.
That was just a bunch of downgrades and bad game design. No wonder the game's too easy. The enemies can't do anything right. I wonder what Payday 3 will do about this.
Here to chat Payday 3 is Payday 3.
When something isn't fun, how do you get it to where it gets to the point where you're up here going, hey, it's entertaining, we did it.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw.
Yeah, I don't think it's working. Maybe you should try something else? It's been more than a year since the release of the game, and everything about it is worse than it was last decade, and you've done nothing to fix that. Well, at least you're consistent. consistently incapable of providing something of quality, and then you wonder why your player count is abysmal. It's because your game is abysmal. If you look at Payday 2, well, Payday 2 is not perfect. It was always a crashy, buggy, greedy, messy mess, but it always kept a decent player count and decent revenue. Because it's fun. It's a game that is fun and therefore it has players. The heists came with a vision, they're imaginative, they're varied. There's cool stuff happening all the time. And the tasers tase, the snipers snipe, the cloakers check before they charge. And so it has players because it's fun, and I'm not even talking about the HUD, the better player customization, the better progression system, the better armor system, the better stuff. All I'm asking for is the most basic features that a cops versus robbers game should deliver. Cool robberies and dangerous cops. Heists with plans and enemies with game mechanics that make sense. Because that is the least that a Payday game should offer, and Payday 3 does not. You wanna make the game fun? Make the heists fun and the heisters will play. Make the cops work and they will challenge the players. It's not that deep. And when you have something worthy of being called entertainment software, then maybe you can ask your paying customers to
support us, play the game, buy our DLC, be in the community, watch our streams. This can be the comeback of the century. Now it's up to you in the Payday community. So I'm challenging you guys in the Payday community to really step up your game.
But rest assured, Starbreeze, that if you don't stop exclusively relying on nostalgia, that if you don't start focusing on delivering something of quality, something that isn't tasteless, thoughtless slop, no matter the amount of shills that you seduce to artificially generate positive feedback for your product, Payday 3 and everything that comes after will remain the same uninspired trash.